What's up, everybody? Clayton here. Hope all is well. So, after the Alesis new kit has been out for a while, and I saw a few videos and different opinions on it, and I'm no different from anybody else, so I want to dig back in because I have been commenting on a few things as well. So, Alesis Strike Pro SE versus the Strata Prime. So I guess the big question is, and for everybody is, should they switch to this new kit? Everybody that I spoke to and have conversations with, my thing is the hi-hats the only thing that's going to stop you from playing the total kit? For me, I don't think that that's worth. Just address the hi-hat situation and then you got the whole kit to play. Well, one of the things that, in my opinion, Alesis didn't address is the hi-hat situation for all. What it just, to me, it just said, well, we're just going to start our new. We're going to get rid of this flagship, separate ourselves from it. We're going this whole new route, and either you jump on board totally with this whole new flagship, or you got to fend for yourself. Because in my research, and I could be wrong, but in my research, the new hi-hat system will not work with the former Strike Pro SE model. So it leaves all of us kind of on the sideline saying, you stuck with what you got. We're not going to have any updates where you can switch and just purchase that new system and, acclimate it to your setup, the SE or the Strike Pro. To me, that's frustrating. But I mean, what you gonna do? For me, I have sat here and addressed my hi-hat issue, so I'm not getting the same thing that a lot of people is getting or having. So I somewhat solved that on my own with some tricks, adapting and overcoming, basically. So you're talking about thousands of dollars to get your hi-hat situation straightened out, because when I did a little research, you look on eBay, there was one Strata kit up, and the hi-hat system with the module, because you have to be able to use the module and with that hi-hat system, the newer one with the 10-inch screen. So you have to buy that. So you're looking at around $1,600 to try to solve this situation here. Let's be honest, money plays a factor, right? So again, I'm coming out of my pocket. Nobody sent me anything for free. So every little move I make, I need to make sure that is within budget. So what I wanted to do is, someone asked me in the comment section, what are my hi-hats, right? How am I able to get my hi-hats to respond? So what I want to do is take time and help somebody like I always do. So first thing you need to do is put it in chase mode. So go to notes and tap, and then you want to be in voice. Okay, so in general, my whole kit is at 50% volume wise, right? So that, any hissing or high floor noise and all that stuff is, drowned out. So you can able to, because like I told you guys, I'm not using VSTs when you hear me play. I'm just using the outputs on the rear of the module. So I can go in and I have a board I'm able to mix my own mix, if that makes sense. So I don't use like Easy Drummer and all that stuff. So anyway, you go to voice, and then like I said, I'm 50%. And then one of the things that everybody, not everybody, but I'm just saying broad brush, I don't think is checking out, and that's the velocity on how hard you strike this, but you can go in there and adjust it so that you can get certain sounds out of your hi-hats, right? So if you was to click on F3, which is, you'll see says VEL, but it's velocity. When you are messing with the velocity, you have to think of it as 0 to 99, right? 99 is actually not the loud, it's the softest. And then as you get down, to 0, then it's going to get loud, right? My velocity level, the very first one, my hi-hats is on 61. Filter is on 79, and I'm not using layer B. So again, what I wanted was, I didn't want it where if I wanted to do ghost notes, I just have just enough dynamics that it's not totally lost. So I didn't want it too soft, so I went with 61, if that makes sense. Okay. Next thing you want to do is go over to the trigger section, right? So currently my sensitivity is on 85. My crosstalk, I have it all the way on 7. Retrigger, I have it on 4. And my threshold is on 19. Now, the reason why, and of course the inputs is on piezo, but the reason why I went with just 0.4 retrigger, because as you increase that, it takes away a note, so to speak, and so what I wanted to do is I wanted the module to grab any little phantom noise that potentially could trigger. That's pretty, and let me go into now. If you hit F2 underneath the trigger, if you hit F2 and you go to your pedal section, so basically what I have done is my foot. Now you have to keep in mind when you're adjusting this, it's really based off of the whatever stand that you're using. So for me, I'm using the DW 5000 series hi-hat with the dual legs, because I do double bass sometimes. So underneath on the actual foot pad, if you look at the actual harness, the actual bottom foot portion, there's a tension knob. Now you can make the hi-hat kind of bouncy, or you can make it stiff, or firm, and I have mine on firm. So reason being why I have it on firm is because the trigger mechanism underneath here, if you have it real loose and you bounce the hi-hats, it's going to activate. So in other words, the spring is almost pushing the hi-hats up and holding it there until I actually need to put some weight on it. Okay, and so that stops the phantom triggering issue. Now, one other things that I ran across with this hi-hat system is that the whole trigger mechanism, sometimes if you're playing some kind of groove and you're using interdependence on the hat, and you're checking your hat, sometimes that whole trigger module will bounce up and down. And I have tried double-sided Gorilla Tape, glue. I tried different things to see if I can get it to stay down, right? But basically what I have done is I had some fishing line, I don't know, maybe 10-pound test or something. It's green or whatever. But I just ran a few around, and it is just holding it, seating that trigger module. So that's just a little trick right there that has actually helped. And also in my other video, I told you guys on your on the clutch, the felt, don't crank that thing down like you don't want your hats to move at all. Cymbals even on acoustics, you want cymbals to breathe, to be able to move, because there's shock waves and frequencies and stuff going around. So it's almost the same way here. So you don't want to, you want your hats to be able to move somewhat free, not, you know, slush. But that's a personal preference. Everything I'm telling you is just a personal preference. You might come up with something different. So those are the things that I have done to stabilize my hi-hat situation. With that being said, my foot sensitivity is on 20. I got the splash on 66, and then my offset currently at 60. Now I could tell you with my offset, it's moody for me, because depending on, because sometimes I move my height of my hi-hat stand. Sometimes I'm wanting to play traditional grip. So, sorry. I'm not tired, but anyway, maybe this is boring. Sometimes I like to play traditional grip. So, with that being said, I'm just giving myself a little room to use the molar technique and give some space there, instead of having to do like this. That makes sense. So anyway, like I said, if that offset is moody for me, so I'm just trying to find that perfect feel, so when I open up the hi-hat, it's moving with me and not behind me with like latency. Other than that, though, that's really what I have done to solve my hi-hat situation. Is it perfect? No. Like I tell a lot of, pretty much on all my videos, it's mental. You have to switch over to this ecosystem and figure this ecosystem out. I mean, you never will be able to take an acoustic and play it like electronic, or electronic like acoustic. They're totally different worlds, apples and oranges, and we're trying to take two and mesh them together, and we are using our experience to compensate, so to speak, to get us through where we need to go. Because over the years, we know that, you know, if I go light, it's going to give me a ghost note. If I go hard, it's going to give me an accent, right? So we're using those same facilities and trying to pull it over and get used to this ecosystem. So that's why many of you guys that have like the SPD pads and all that type of stuff, you know, they have to get used to how it feels to hit that rubber pad while playing a live kit. So they need to know how much force they can use. You know, depending on, like, sometimes if I'm doing a track or something like that, I might, I have a snare over here, and to keep me solid, I might turn the threshold up, so that only thing that will actually hit is a hard downbeat, and I can get a lot of ghost notes without triggering a sound. So I'm able to use my ghost notes as you know, to help my pocket, and so that downbeat, when it comes down, is locked, bam, where I need to come. So those are the, like, gates. You using it like a gating system. Again, that's what I have done. And so the big picture for me is that those changes right here have stopped me from having to spend thousands of dollars because of a hi-hat situation, which I never understood that. I'm like, just address the hi-hats. If all this right here is sounding good, why you need to get rid of it? Because what? I'm just trying to figure that out, right? The new sound that's coming from the cup of the cymbals, the bell area, I mean, long as the ride cymbal have it, I mean, maybe somebody might come out with a hot track that need the hi-hat bell in there, but I don't think Maybe I'm thinking too simplistic. I don't know, but I'm just looking from what they're bringing out to, in my opinion, what they're bringing out on the new Strata. Is it worth me switching over? That's what I'm trying to get, you know, out there for people to, maybe rethink. To me, one of the things is now that when you have people who still want to go with the new kit and they want to get rid of their kit, now what I can say is that it's going to give you an expansion opportunity. So you can buy that other Strike Pro SE module now, and you can expand this drum set for sure. Okay, those of you guys know I just got the little surge on the side to help with my little auxiliary type sounds that I want. So, but for the most part, hey, this is gonna be a great opportunity to do some upgrades, right? The other thing is, and lastly, that I want to say is that I don't know what they're using to address or for this new module with this 10-inch screen, but I know in my experiences and majority of the things that I use is like Apple products, and I can tell you that what I can do is tell you that I will be kind of cautious and make sure that that screen is protected, out of the way. If you have a stick failure and that stick break and it come down on that screen, make sure that it's protected. That's the only thing I can say. We don't know. Every company, every tech company that we know that got cell phones. Now, I have had iPhones on the side of my bed and just fall off my nightstand and hear that perfect sound, crack. And when you pick it up, the whole back lens, the whole back side of it is cracked. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I don't know if you can see that crack. And that's just dropping off my bed. So those are just the things that, somebody might say, man, you sound like you bashing Alesis. I'm not bashing Alesis. For some of y'all don't know, I've been riding Alesis for about 20 something years. So it's not that. I've been playing Alesis since the DM5 days. So it's not that. So if anybody has been loyal, but we all know in today's times it's all about numbers. How many likes you got, how many subscribers you got, things of that nature. And then once you get there, then that's when you somewhat have a voice out there. So I don't have a voice. So those of you who are subscribed to my channel, I appreciate you. 90% of the people that come through, if they would subscribe, that would help my channel out tremendously, and get those numbers up where they need to be so that I can have a voice, right? But anyway, please like, subscribe, join us. We appreciate you. If we can help you, we'll help you. I'm sure many of you guys can see that from my page. I try to get back to you as quick as I can. But other than that, I hope you guys... Is it worth me getting rid of everything that I have done to switch to this new kit? My answer will be no. Why? Because for me, and what those of you have been following what my journey has been, I need more outputs. And for me, that new Strata kit has taken away. And basically, where I had an 8-track output, now it's down to a 4. So it's not enough for me to switch over, if that makes sense. And some of you who are Strike Pro SC players, it's harder for us because, okay, the elephant in the room, right, was the hi-hats, right? Just after my research, I haven't played on one. Like I told you guys, I'm not sponsored, and I don't have an endorsement with Alesis, so I'm able to give you my humble, honest opinion and can stand by what I'm saying because I can debate on what I'm talking about. All right, y'all take care out there. We'll talk to you. Simplify.